Alrighty, Shark Customs, man, you know the routine. I'll say it at the end. Something just happened with the dog there. He was not sure. He's chewing on some bones with some marrow in them. Show Mad Max. Show him. Are you alright? Are you alright? What were you whining about? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Go chew on your bone. Go chew on your bone, good boy. Go get it. Go get it. Good boy. Well, that was a little delay in the program. I wasn't expecting that. I figured he would sit over there and he would be quite content chewing the marrow out of his bones. I actually took him one bone for him tonight, and I crushed it. I broke it open in the vise, and the marrow kind of went everywhere. The marrow went everywhere. You know, that's what dogs want to get out of the bone. They want to get the marrow. And I was like, oh shit, the bones are empty. Like, where did the marrow go? And then I pick up this hat to put on, you know, for the video, and there's a great big cluster of marrow in my hat. So I found it. That's besides the point. So, we're talking quarter scale stuff. You know, in the last video I showed you some 3D printed stuff. Yes, I'm gonna admit it right now, right on the camera. I am obsessed with 3D printing, okay? If I could have 10 3D printers right now, I would have them. But the way I see it is I've got one. I've got the Flash Forge, you know, the 5M Pro. Awesome little machine. It is a workhorse, okay? We've got 205 hours of print time. We're burning through the filament. We just picked up, check this out. We just picked this up. This is a box of filament. We got 10 rolls, 1 kilogram rolls. We get it's a multi-pack that you can buy, you know, off Amazon. Now, I like the Elegoo. I've had lots of nice parts come off the Elegoo. This is a new. It's a new filament. Call it what you want. King Room. You know where it comes from. It comes from across the pond. You know, it starts with a C. But I actually fired off a roll of gray last night, and I had a little bit of spotting, and I wasn't sure if it was the product or if it was just the file. I'm thinking it was just the file, because right now what I'm printing is everybody can see it. Here you go. Here you go. It's a Mustang. Yes, it's a Mustang. Call it what you want. It's a 73 style Mustang. It's a fastback. Call it Eleanor. Call it what you want. Yes, there was supposed to be some spotlights or fog lights down here in the bottom. I had to actually cut those out of there. I threw them somewhere. I don't know where they were, or where they went. But I could not mold around those if I was going to make a mold off of this print. I'm just picking this. So this print, this 3D print here, I'll show you the bottoms. So these are 4 cubes, and that's not really the way to print. You kind of want to do a shell. So these other pieces were supposed to be cubes also. But I'm learning I'm learning slowly. I'm learning the software, kind of how I can manipulate it. Just, save time, save material. In the print, I was going to print everything out in cubes for this model, for this buck. And then I figured out that, no, I could do a little bit more slicing and dicing in the software. And trust me, I am using a piece of, it's not a piece of crap. It's actually it's a good piece of software. It's Flash Print, just so everybody knows. And it's okay. But tonight, the camera girl is working on her own car project. Not gonna say what it is because it's kind of a surprise, but she's working on a model. I'm playing with this one. Okay. Why? Well, why the hell not? Cobra, Daytona Coupe, GT40, Mustang, fastback. Those are the 4 Shelby iconic race cars via Ford, okay? And so I downloaded a 3D print STL file. Now, you got to remember that I am brand new to this 3D printing stuff. I'm going to say it's Sunday, so technically I'm 3 weeks in with my printer. And I have printed so much stuff. I've printed, we've ran almost 2,000 meters of filament through that printer, 205 hours. We started out with small things, worked our way up into, superchargers and motors, and you've seen it all in the last video. Now we're into the, bigger prints, and I'm learning how to slice and dice files. Tonight it was actually pretty wild because my beautiful wife, Karen, the camera girl, she actually showed me in the same software slicer program that I play around in. She showed me some new shit, man, and it just blew my mind. She took a full scale, she scaled it out to full size, the car she's working on, and she sliced and diced it and kept it all together. And I was like, whoa, 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 like, step back. What the hell? How come I didn't know that? How come I didn't figure this shit out? You know what I mean? Like, in the software. She showed me some very cool stuff. How I can keep the car all there, all together, and slice it and dice it into its, the cubes. And, we're still working on figuring out. That piece of software is pretty, what I would consider rudimentary. It's not like Orca, it's not like Fusion, it's not like Meshmaker, it's not like, there's so many. I could go on and on and on. It's not like that. It's a very basic slicing software. But the things that she showed me just blew my mind. Just holding the control button and being able to add things, subtract things. I'm new to all this. I'm very old school. I am not. I am very computer illiterate. Let's just say that. It's all new to me. But the stuff she showed me tonight, it was like, why am I not doing that? Like, just to create what I've created right here took me trial and error. Let's just put it that way. I would take, this is the first center hood piece I printed, and it was like, it was way off. This angle was off. This whole scoop section, way off. you know, I had to redo the cut, kind of figure out where I went wrong. And then what I do is I take this, and in my slicer program, I flip it on its side, and then I start the print, and I get this, you know, get this profile. I get this profile. This is how I do it. Yeah, it's backwoods, whatever you want to call it. And then I line it up. I stick it, after it does like 3 layers, I cancel the print, and I line it up on there, and I go, okay, so it needs to be a 1/4 inch smaller, so I gotta go back into the software and, you know, kind of shrink it down. And same as this, you know, I'll take this and I'll put it, it's an imaginary thing. You have to imagine that. It's an imaginary space. And I'll print out this profile, and I'll get this profile, and I'll let it print like a 3-layer print, and then I hold it up. Here, I can cut it in half and, you know, kind of just do like a half type thing. And I'm, you know, if you look at it in that perspective, it's like, you know, it's all trial and error, because I'm printing out these little thin pieces. I wish I had one here, but I threw them all in the garbage. But I print all of these little pieces so that I can line it up with the profiles to see if it's right. And as far as the dimensions, that I know. You know, I can just measure off of here and put it in the profile, and bada boom, bada bing. But being able to take your whole STL file and big it up to the dimensions you want, and then slice it into the pieces you want, and then save all those pieces, that's a game changer. That's a big game. If you knew how I was doing this, most 3D printers would freaking laugh at me. They go, like, what the hell is this guy doing, man? Like, he's doing it, you know. But hey, I look at it this way. You know what? Hey, that's to scale. It got me there. These are not the best 3D prints. If the camera can come in close, you can see all the layering. Now all of that stuff needs primered, it needs filled. You know, we've got choppy, you know, we got choppy stuff going on. But take in mind, I'm new to this 3D printing stuff, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now that this STL file was for a car that was probably supposed to be like, oh, I don't know, 1/24th scale. I just scooped it, you know, from one of them places on the internet, scooped it, saved it, and I bigged it up. You know, I took it from 1/24 scale, blew it up to, you know, this car overall is supposed to be about 46, 47 inches long. And when you start to take a file and you start to, if you don't know nothing about the software, which I don't, and you big it up that size, you know, you times it by, you know, think of a 1/24 scale, little model car here, you know, and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, the number's endless. You're bigging it up by 50%. Of course, you're not going to get a proper, you know, you're going to have all kinds of weird marks, and because it was never meant to be that big. But you know what? I'm doing this particular print just to show or prove to myself, not anybody else, that I can take a 90mm, you know, which, like a dinky car, I can take that STL file and I can big it up into a scale, 1/4 scale car, and I can make it work for me for $1. I'm a third of the way there. I'm a third of the way there with these pieces. And you know, I've put a little bit of filler on there. I wanted to see how the I'm using just short strand fiberglass, you know, kind of fill stuff. It actually is adhering pretty good. I hot glued. Okay, I tried epoxy, but I hot glued all these pieces together. Cool thing with the hot glue is I've done some testing on this piece. I put hot glue, I tried some ABS glue. What I'd really like to try is I'd like to try the white pipe glue. It's, the name of it is PVC glue. I would like to try PVC glue. Now I know that most of the 3D printers out there, when they're gluing stuff together, they're using, you know, the CA or the CY with an accelerator. And I've used that stuff before, and I find it very brittle. It cracks, it breaks, you know, it's very brittle. You know, I'm building these things, I want them tough, because, you know, I'm going to pull molds off of these things, man. And big game changer. I'm telling you, the 3D printer, big, here, I'm going to grab some parts. I just finished printing some parts for this. I'm going to grab them out of the printer. Ooh, look at that. So, when I sliced and diced the file, this was called a kit card model. So it had the model, and it had the wheels, and it had an axle, all on a framework that resembled like a model you buy in a model kit. You know, you pull the frameworks out, and you pull all the little pieces off. Well, this had the same thing. The first thing I did was I looked at the front profile, and I saw this big old square bar, you know, which was, I guess you would call it the rack. And I was like, well, I'll just chop that off. You know, I'll just chop it off, get rid of it, and carry on with my slicing and my dicing of the model, not knowing that it chopped off a ½ an inch of the card. You know, so I printed these out. I figured out how to get rid of the bar or the rack, whatever you want to call it. And I still got pieces of it. Those little divots, they're pieces of the rack. That's fine, because I can just cut that off with a utility knife. It's not a big deal. Put some filler there. But that's a whole ½ inch of the card. Now, when I'm talking about bigging up a very small STL file, this is what I'm talking about. You can see it's very kind of rough looking. You know, it's kind of choppy. But I'm not worried about that, because you know what? This saves me being able to 3D print out a car I want. All this choppiness and this waviness, and it saves me so much time trying to do it by hand. You know, my Chevy truck, I carved out a foam. That was hundreds and hundreds of hours of sanding and measuring, and yeah, you go back, watch the video. You'll see it, man. That took a long time. That took months and months and months. This 3D printing stuff, so that's going to be bonded underneath there to kind of make up the flare that I lost. Now, I didn't do it perfect. Not want to go there. I got a bit of a gap. I got a bit of a gap in the center, but I'll put some filler in there. I'm not worried about it. You know, the whole thing has to eventually have filler. But now that I know that, as I carry on with the print, you know, I won't cut that rack off. I'll go in and I'll look at the profile a little different, and I'll cut it off, you know, kind of around the car. And if I have to leave those little tits, or whatever you want to call them, sticking out, I'll leave them, because I can cut those things off after, put some filler on them. So yeah, to carry on with the rest of the car from this point, what the camera girl showed me tonight is a total freaking game changer. You know, it's we're using flash print. You can't slice and dice, separate all your parts. You literally have to file every part individually And I hope maybe there's somebody out there that can, you know, well, first thing they're going to say is, yeah, get the hell out of Flash Print. Like, don't play in there. You know, go to Fusion, go to Orca, go to Prusa, you know, go to Meshmaker, go, you know, go play in those places. You know, we're working on it, man. We are brand new to this stuff, okay? But man, we have come so far, so fast with our little Flash Forge printer. We have come so far, so fast in a very short period of time. I mean, we're looking at, you know, being able to create our own, you know, quarter scale models to, you know, possibly mold and flood the frickin' market with them. I mean, that is the idea, you know. Make them for the masses. You know, we're not going into crazy production or anything like that, but you know, man, the GT40s, man, you know I'm on number 17. And that, you know, number 17 GT40, I don't know how long GT40s are going to last. You know, if I get to number 20, I might give that up. But like I say, you know, we've got some surprise quarter scales in the works. As far as what the camera girl is working on, that it's not really a surprise. We'll indulge it when we get there. You know, that one we'll indulge. The one I'm going to be working on, that, like I say, this one was never priority. The Mustang. The one I'm going to be working on in the next month, 2 months, whatever. That one to me is priority. I'm still going to be working on the other stuff, the GT40s, you know, the 1934 coupes. I got way too many to work on. I got way too many to build. But this next one, the one that's the secret, I'm going to give you guys some little tidbits along the way. You know, you're going to have to just stay tuned. Maybe you can pick up on it. You know, maybe you won't. But I'm going to tell you right now that within the next week, week and a half, it'll be here. That's all I'm going to say. It will be here. You're not going to see it though. It's going to be sitting on my table and it's going to be covered with a, you know, with a sheet, and you're going to have to guess. You're going to have to guess what that car is, you know. But there you have it, man. I thought I would throw some more content out tonight, and I know I blabbed on a lot about 3D printing and all that crap, and hey, I'm a newbie, man. I am a newbie, but I am totally obsessed with the 3D printing. I have 10 of those machines running daily if I thought it was feasible for me. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, they put it this way, they have to pay for themselves. That's what I'm getting at. So there you have it, man. Sharp Customs. Share, like, subscribe. I hope you like this video. I wanted to do some more hands-on stuff, and we'll get to it. Don't worry, man. We will get to it, man. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm coming at you. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. I know we're beyond it, but love you all. Peace. I'm out.